Hello everybody, this is Trader Max and this is DexFXMarkets.com. This is the Dex Atomic X, and in this video we're going to talk about how do I practice without waiting a dog's age to get the experience. Well, one of the cool things that we just unraveled here with the TradingView system and the Dex Atomic X is what we refer to as the replay system. Now, why is that so cool? Well, because you can actually now turn back the hands of time on a particular pair or chart and see how it unfolds throughout the process. Now, they've had this for a long time, but we've never really utilized it to this extent until now. Now, why is this so good? Because you're going to be able to go through a lot of trades to see what wins and what doesn't win. And I'm going to show you some little tricks here on how to work this, okay? So the first thing we want to do is you want to pick a pair that you want to utilize, right? You do only want to set it to the times that it's going to actually fire, and you're going to want to use either the high or low risk process in here, okay? You're going to hit OK. Make sure that you got high or low risk happening. Doesn't matter which one, just as long as you're choosing one you want to do. You can also use it on a fresh chart spawn, and I'm going to show you some tricks here, how you can paper trade to your little heart's content so you can get a good understanding how the process happens. Now, so we're going to come up to the main top menu bar, and we're going to hit replay. What that's going to do is going to give you this big juicy bar right here with a whole bunch of cool stuff on it. We'll talk about here in a second. But also, if you can kind of see in the middle of the screen, it brings you up this red bar. Okay. If I use my mouse wheel to scroll in, I can start to see where I want basically to be able to go. Okay. Now, because I started this a little too close, if I hold my mouse button down, I can move the chart around and not let go. But the moment I tap my mouse, it starts the process going. If you've tapped in the wrong place, you want to restart, just click replay again. It'll ask you to stop. You'll have to hit replay once again to restart the process. Now, before I hit replay, I always want to kind of get back to the area. Like if this is today, maybe yesterday, maybe you want to go back into the middle of the week. Maybe you want to start on a Friday or you want to start on a Sunday. It doesn't matter where you physically start as long as you start someplace that you know that you're just going to follow. And I'm just going to go back to this particular day right here. Now, here it is right here. This is the signal we're going to fire with. Try not to pay attention to it too much because you don't want to get influenced by that process. You're going to, wherever the arrow is, you're going to want to go back one bar and click on the red. So now you've clicked replay, you've clicked on that, you've gotten back to that process. And now here's where we're going to be over on the right-hand corner. Now, let's get back to this little bar right here, this beautiful little bar. If I can jump back a couple of ones, I can jump back. I can say I want to jump back to here instead of there. Okay, I want to go back to this signal instead. Okay. You have the play button. You have the fast forward button. You can have the speed variable. You can jump into real time and you can stop the entire thing. That's all these bars are. You can move that all around anywhere you need so it's out of your way. So since we started, we jumped back to another trade in there. I'm just going to hit the start button. Now, I'm going to pause right here as the box jumps up. The speed, if you hover, it'll say play. But if you go to speed and you hover over the blue dot, it'll tell you one update every 1 second. If you're on a 5-minute chart, it's going to every 1 second, it's going to go 5 minutes. Okay. So that means in a 1-hour trade, in 12 seconds, you can have a result. But what I like to do is that once the signal fires, I pause it. I take this as a time to say, all right, I want to see how this is going to unfold, but I also want to make my prediction. And my prediction is if I'm using a high-low, then you don't really need the paper trail if you're just using the high-low, okay? Because you can kind of see, did it get it sold or get it bought? What this training is for is basically being able to pick the medium, right? Someplace in between and learning how to use the dynamic support and resistance areas to be able to trade. Now, what is the dynamic? Now, remember from previous videos that you have the high risk and the low risk. You want to go somewhere in between. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to grab my little handy dandy trend line and I'm going to hold shift and I'm going to pick a spot that I think is pretty good. I'm going to pick this spot, this level right here. I'm going to hold shift so it keeps it nice and straight. Now, and then I'm going to press and click again. Why did I pick this spot? Well, I have this touch here. I have this kind of little heads and shoulders thing happening right here, right? This is a little pullback area to a little pullback area. And it looks pretty strong. And it just so happens to be right at the 8th mean. Pretty powerful, right? Boom, boom, boom. This is a really good area. And then I'm going to hit play. And watch what happens. We're going to just kind of mess with this process a few times. Now, at that point, did my trade get bought? Well, one, it touched the line, but usually within about a pip and a half to 2 pips, if it comes close to your trade, it's taken it on. It may not have filled. Okay, yeah, it probably would have filled the 75 as well, so the low risk probably got filled as well. Okay, and then I hit play. Was that a good decision to do? Good trade, yeah. Looked like we kind of knocked it out of the park there. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, took off and did pretty well. And there's the trade ended. Now, you can speed it up to get to the next level of trades. But once a trade happens, and you see it happen, this is like 1 every 5 seconds. It's going crazy. You're going nutsoid. We missed. There's the end of the day. I'm going to keep it going up. Now I'm going to kind of go back a little bit. I'm going to say jump 2. I'm going to go right there. Okay. I'm going to hit play. This time I'm going to show the slow down, the speed there. It's going to come on here in a second or two. There it is. Now I'm going to hit pause. Now I'm going to look again. I'm going to grab my little handy dandy trend tool. And I'm at there's the low risk right there. And there's, so that's about medium risk. And again, look how beautiful that is, that little medium risk mean right there. But you know what? It's really hovering. This is the low risk is a very good level to be at. The high risk is also a good level to be at. But if we straighten this out, look at this. We come right into the middle of this pack of this juicy little boom, boom, one's right there, one's right there. This is close, that's close. So the mean is actually the medium risk is also a pretty good deal as well. And it would have gotten bought on the first arrow. And hit play. And have this fold out. So we're 1-0 right now, which is pretty good. We might make it to 1-2 if you don't want to wait around for the 10 and lose your mind over the next 10 seconds. We can simply do that. And there's the win. You see how easy that is? Works out pretty good, right? Now, the beauty part about it is that your lines stay here. So you can kind of go back wherever you have a line. You can also then put what happened to that process. You know, you can put a little text in and say win or won. Or you could take that again and hit, if you click on it and it's got a little dot there, you hit copy, which is Control V, come back over here and Control C, and then you just do it again, and there you go. You got another one right there. Now, I'm not going to go through too many more. You kind of get the gist of it using the tools that you have in there. I suggest you go back, you find your times you want to work with, you find your pair you want to work with, and you see how well you can do. And trade at this level of mentality that you're practicing. And if you do that, I just did 2 in less than a couple of minutes that you've been here. Imagine doing 3 or 4, taking 3 or 4 hours out of your time to really get the feel of it. All right, I'm Trader Max. This is DexFXMarkets.com with the Dex Atomic and using the replay to practice trade. Enjoy yourself. I hope that you find success in this. And if you have any problems, reach out to us. We'll see you next time. And as always, trade well.